Hi, welcome to a Sports Beat. I'm Lily, and today I'm talking to Josh Carroll. Josh is a Special Olympics athlete and an inspiring sports broadcaster, like me. Hi,
Yeah.
Josh.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. Like this is such a huge honor. Happy we can finally make this happen.
When did you become interested in pursuing a career in sports?
Yeah, like when it all started when I was in high school. I went to Revis in where I work there now, and at that time there was a radio station ran by the students called WRHS, and I would announce basketball and football as well as hosting my own show, and that's sort of like where I got the love from it, especially considering like not to brag or nothing, but it was like one of the highest viewed listened shows, and that kind of had me thinking, maybe I can make something out of this, and it all skyrocketed from there.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Why did you decide to focus on being a sports broadcaster and podcaster?
yeah. For me, sports in general has been my lifelong passion. Honestly, since I was 3 years old, like I remember, obviously you don't remember much as a child, like especially when you're that little, but I specifically remember going to the Walmart in Bridgeview, and they had this game called NBA Showtime, and it was sort of like reminiscent of what NBA Jam is, like super arcadey, over the top, and it was just like the voice, Tim Kitzrow, and like the gameplay around it. I sort of had my love for broadcasting and sports really blossom in general, and I'm definitely grateful for those kind of memories. And then at the end of the day, I figured with with broadcasting in general, for me, I want to, pave a lane for other differently able people, and have them know that, like, hey, if I can do this, you can do it too. And some of the experience I've had, like I've interned with the Loop, WS FM, WS AM, back when they would have Sox games on their channel with the late great Ed Farmer, may he rest in peace. And what I would do there is I would take some of the highlights that would happen as they happen, and I would like clip them into Adobe Audition, and I would send them to like a specific server so they can play at the post game. And some of the moments were like the best experience of my life, and I would never forget them. But now that I'm at my high school, I can use my broadcasting degree and everything I've learned from them to truly, shape the future, especially with the students I work with now in the radio club, and, kind of show them what's possible as long as they put their mind to it.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
What's the
definitely.
best advice you've ever received from a coach or mentor?
I've gotten a lot of good advice, but one thing that really stood out from one of my coaches, don't be afraid to speak up and always take criticism constructively. To me, it essentially builds character when you're able to be a leader when it matters, but also it's built on how you respond when things don't go your way. And admittedly, I've been guilty of not responding well at times. And over the years, I've definitely gotten better at it. And there was this moment during softball season this year where coach had encouraged us all to speak up, and I didn't want to say anything in the moment out of like respect for him when he asked the question, but I knew I had to choose my words carefully. And then when I sent my thoughts out to him, I felt like that was kind of the turning point of the season and the reason that we made it to state this year. And we ended up getting third, but I feel like I'm proud of us, like we had so much growth through the year, and I can't wait to run it back.
That's a really great advice.
Yeah, definitely.
What advice do you have for young people who want to pursue a career in sports broadcasting?
Yeah. This question I had to think long and hard on because it's very insightful. Because honestly, though, never be afraid to pave your own lane. It's part of the reason why I have the field generals going on. Knowing you don't necessarily have to per se play by anyone else's rules, and being able to do your own thing. It's beautiful, man. Especially when people get to see how much fun you have with it. And, I know you can kind of relate to that too with knowing you have your own YouTube channel and the goals that you want to achieve. And I'm proud of you. Like I hope you continue to succeed and, continue to get the goals that you want to achieve for yourself.
That was really great advice. And what one word would you use to describe yourself?
You know, I'm not quite sure if you'll like this answer, but imperfect in every sense of the word. Because for what it's worth, we all strive to, be better tomorrow than how we were today or yesterday or any day before it. Because you truly never know the kind of impact you're making on someone until it's right in your face and you're told you don't realize it until it's being said, and a lot of times, my mom is my rock. And I'm not ashamed to say it, and nobody should, because she's been there for me every step of the way, 100%. She's the one person that I can honestly count on no matter what I'm going through, good or bad. And I would not be half the man today, the half man I am today without her. So I love you, mom, to death,
Mhm.
and I appreciate you so much. And I appreciate you as well, Lily, for bringing me on and allowing me to share my stories. And I'm gonna do the same for you. I'm gonna get you on my podcast as well.
I like that. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And again, thank you so much for having me. I'm grateful that we were able to make this happen.
Thanks. Do you want
And
to tell people how to follow you?
yeah, yeah, of course. You can follow me on Instagram at Captain JC323, CaptainJC323. And then my YouTube channel for the podcast is called Field General Sportscast on YouTube. Go subscribe. We're currently at 50 subs, and we got to get to at least 1,000 to, get it monetized and really grow the brand, and hopefully sooner or later we can get that in-person interview knocked out. That would mean a lot to me as well.
All right. Thank you so much, Josh. I wish you luck in your career.
Yeah, thank you, Lily. You as well.
For Lily Sports Beat, I'm Lily.
And I'm Josh Carroll.
All right.